Hi guys, welcome to another video. So this is going to be a step-by-step guide to hanging a big mirror, and I'll show you the mirror. So this is the mirror that I'm going to hang off this above this fireplace. And this is what it hangs by on the back. Where you slot it onto a screw through the big bit and then it slides down. So I've got a piece of masking tape on the wall here to mark where the top of the mirror is going to sit. So I'm going to put another piece in the middle and mark a centre line first of all, and then I'll put a centre line on the mirror as well so I can line it up when I come to hang it. So I'll level through from the bottom of this piece of tape that's already on. So that's just marking, bottom of this level is the top of the mirror when it's on the wall. So I've got another piece of tape on there. It's just so I can draw on the tape without drawing on the new paint. So I'll get a centre line on the chimney breast. So that's 1760 divided by 2. So that's 880 to my centre. So I'll draw that on. 880. I'll just check it the other way. Yeah, it's within a couple of mil. So it's about there, centre line. So it's a bit hard to see on there actually, but I'll do a centre line on the mirror as well now. Right, so now I'm going to put a centre line on the mirror. So when I hang it up, I can line it up with the line on my wall. So half of that is 598. Somewhere there. Check it the other way. 598. Yep. So that's my centre line sorted on my mirror. So guys, I'm using these holes on the mirror, one on either side, to hang this. So I'm using these screws, they're about 3-inch. Other thing you need to check is make sure they go in this big hole, so then they can, when the mirrors drop down, it can hook on like that. So I've had to just reduce the size of this head with my grinder because I didn't have any other screws. So that's something you need to check before you put them in the wall. And brown plugs, just 2 of these. So you'll also need a drill capable of drilling masonry, either brick or stone. So this is probably stone with dot and dab plasterboards on. So I've got an SDS drill. Right, I've stuck some tape, like I said. It'd been better if I used some dark tape because you can hardly see it. But the bottom of this tape is where the top of the mirror is going to sit. The bottom of that tape there. And that. So what I need to do now, and that's my centre line on the chimney breast. So I need to mark out onto these other bits of tape how far apart the holes on the mirror are. So I'll mark them on. And then what I'll do, I'll measure down the distance from the top of the mirror to the holes and draw it on the wall. So the spacing on the mirror holes is 1106 mil. 1106 mil divided by 2, 553. And 553. So that should be 1106 millimeters spacing. Yeah. So that was the space, the distance between one side and the other where it's hanging. So now I need the distance from the top of the mirror to the holes, which is about 145 mil. 145. I need a new tape measure. So now I'll mark that 145 mil. So this is the top of where my top of my mirror is sitting. So I need 145 mil down from there. Which is about there. And I'm not bothered about drawing on wall here because it's behind mirror. So that's where one hole's going. And 145 down from here. But what I'll do, I'll just run a level across here. So I'll mark a I'll mark down with the spirit level directly below what I've marked before. So that's that. Same on this side. That's that. So that should be 1106 mil between these two lines. Yeah, spot on. So now I'll just level through from that screw hole, which is there, to this one, and then I get the mirror level then. And that's that. That's my two. Where I need to drill 2 holes, put 2 mounting screws. So I've just marked on my drill bit with a bit of tape how far I'm going to drill in, just to make it easier so I don't overdo it. And then I'll get on and drill the holes. And that's that. Didn't feel very good, but we'll see how it holds. So when the hole's a bit dodgy, because you don't know what you're going into behind these walls, I usually put a bit of like wood glue on the plug, like the expanding 5-minute wood glue, and then it sort of grows behind the plasterboard and everything and helps hold the plug in really strong. So I'll do that now. So I just stick a bit of this stuff on the plugs and bang it in, and then it just helps grow behind the plasterboard and firms the plug up when it's a bit of a rubbish hole. So I'll do that. Right, the first hole hasn't gone to plan. It's obviously hit a hollow behind, but that's where my screw hole has to be because that's where I want my mirror. So I'm going to use one of these plasterboard fixings instead. I'll bang one of these in on that side and then I'll see how the other hole goes. And I'm going to put a bit of glue on this as well, just to try and firm it up a bit. So that's that one in. Let's give this other side a go, see if this works. That one's got hold fairly nicely, so I'll stick this screw in. That didn't work either, so I'm going to put another plasterboard fixing in that side as well. Bit of glue on it. You're probably not meant to put glue on it. It expands at the back, so it's going to help it hold a bit, I'm sure. Right, I'm using smaller screws now because obviously I'm going into a plasterboard fixing rather than straight into the masonry. So the heads are fine, they go into the back of the mirror. So I'll bang these in. Just leave enough poking out, obviously, so you can mount the mirror. This will be the fun bit, trying to get the mirror onto the screws next. I'll just let that glue dry a little bit. There, look, you can just see why I put a bit of that expanding glue on. I don't think they'll be going anywhere when that stuff sets properly. And it's probably as well held up with these plasterboard curly fixing things, because it's a really old building and the mortar, it's obviously gone into some mortar behind the board and it's just crumbly as hell. And the plugs didn't do anything, so it'll be as well held in with the plasterboard. There you can see it bubbling out. They're not going to go anywhere. Yeah, it's just a change of plan. Not goes to plan, especially when you're trying to film it. But it's just something you got to deal with. So now I'm going to try and mount the mirror. So I've got my centre line, I'll line them up. And I'll just go a bit above the tape is the top of the mirror. So it's about there. This is easier said than
done.
Right guys, there you have it. One mirror hung on the wall. Bit of a struggle. Two-man job really, lifting one of them on with those silly fixings, but looks pretty good now it's up. And job done. If you enjoyed my video and you found it useful, press the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Cheers guys.